end of last summer, Lydia Brown, who I'll be sharing the stage with in April, gave me some advice before I headed off for my second season at the Opéra de Montréal. She said that when it's at its best, opera can feel just like chamber music. And I think that's true, and I've really tried to implement that in my work over the last year. Really listening to the other musicians, being present, trying to keep things vital and alive. And it's true that opera is more heightened. The venues are bigger, the musical forces are bigger, it's louder, the subject matter is bigger. So it's really nice to complement my work at the opera with this song repertoire, which was meant to be performed in people's homes and their living rooms. And it comes with this spontaneity between the performers, an intimacy with the audience, with the text, and this unique truthfulness that's very special. So I feel very grateful that I get to do both things and that they can really inform each other, actually. So the Brahms songs set folk poetry, originally in English and Italian, but here in German translation. And we definitely see those influences in the images of the poems. And these poems are grander philosophical ideas about love, which is reflected in Brahms settings. Whereas the Schumann songs are a little bit more grounded and intimate. The first one is a young woman trying to convince her boyfriend to join her at the town dance, which I love. The last, which is my personal favorite, is two parents singing a lullaby to their sick child. And so in these songs, the tenor and the soprano are really in dialogue with each other as two characters, whereas in the Brahms songs, the soprano and the mezzo get to join together as one voice to deliver these grand, sweeping ideas on love. At the risk of sounding cliche, I really do feel that I have found who I am as an artist in my time at Marlboro. And I could wax poetic about all the reasons for that, but I will try to stick to just one, which is all that I have gotten from the amazing gift of time that Marlboro has provided me. Out here in the real world, we are often throwing things together quite quickly, more quickly than we'd like. And at Marlboro, it's 7 weeks just for the repertoire, and there's time to breathe. And in that breath, I have discovered this whole new level of creativity within me. I've had ideas and interpretations about the music emerge in the most organic and authentic way, and in ways that have really surprised and empowered me. And there's time for these beautiful musical partnerships and friendships to develop. And I have experienced firsthand just how much the music has to give to us when we give freely and generously to it. When we give it our time, our care, our attention, we get back all of this depth and these details and this connection to the composers and the poets and to ourselves and our collaborators and our audiences, and it's all of that magical alchemy. I'll stop myself there. It's that magical alchemy of Marlboro, and it has given me so much purpose as a musician, and I'm forever grateful and very excited to reunite with some of my Marlboro colleagues for this tour.
Well, I think the answer is kind of in the question itself. It's this intimate, collaborative space that Marlboro allows us to participate in. A lot of the work that I get as a singer in the classical world is in opera, and in opera there is a physical divide between the singer and the orchestra. As you know, the orchestra's in the pit, singers on stage, then you have the conductor as the middleman between the two to mediate that collaboration. But what's so fun about chamber music is that you get to work with these incredible instrumentalists and artists one-on-one in an intimate context, and you get to have more space for opinions and collaboration in that way. You know, in opera, a lot of the time you need to satisfy a lot of people, the director, the conductor, the score. You need to satisfy yourself. You need to satisfy the other people on stage with you. In chamber music, you can get rid of the director, you can get rid of the conductor, and the only people you need to satisfy are the score and yourself and the people within your group. And you get to have that space for collaboration and to find those musical ideas and fun things together rather than separate like you might find in opera. And for those reasons, I think it's fantastic. Also, the repertoire itself is spectacular. It's great writing. You know, I think that it's a little underappreciated in the singer's realm. There's fantastic songs and duets and collaborative pieces that you don't really get to study in school. You study more solo art song and opera rather than, you know, a chamber piece with a string quartet and a piano and two singers. You don't really get to do that in undergrad or grad school unless you know about it. And so it's been really, really fun to discover all this really awesome repertoire and to be able to sing it with such incredible, incredible musicians at Marlboro. I had a ton of fun on my first tour in 2023 singing 10 Blake songs by Rafe Vaughan Williams. I'm a rambling man personally, so I love being on the road with people that I enjoy, and I do enjoy these people that I'm about to be on the road with. I love going to new places. I love singing songs with my friends and people coming to hear us and wanting to hear these pieces. It brings me great, great joy. So I absolutely love the experience. I don't mind sleeping in hotels. I don't mind traveling great distances to get to places. Doesn't bother me. I have a lot of fun. It's a great chance to really get to know people, figure out more about their musicality and their interpretation of pieces and how they travel and, you know, are they fun to sit in a car with for 6 hours? But I think those are fun life experiences. I think that's the joy of this art form and this career is having the opportunity to go new places, sing songs for people that they want to be there and they want to hear, and to do all this with incredible artists and incredible people, really, really nice people.
From the very opening of the concert with the Haydn E-flat minor trio, I think that this music has a very vocal quality. It's almost like a serious aria with a searching character, and I think that this music asks us to really think like singers and to inflect and to breathe with the phrases in a natural way, just like a great singer would do instinctively. In that light, I think it's very fitting to have these two pillars of the Haydn piano trios, and in between to have these incredible vocal duets. I think that in the emotional realm, there are several parallels that can be drawn. Between the works, we have the Haydn E-flat minor trio is, of course, a classical trio with a lot of inner romanticism, I think, and characters of struggle and pain and a lot of depth. And I think that there are parallels with the drama of the Britten Canticle and more introspective moments of the Schumann duets. And then after going through this journey of the three duets, then arriving at the Haydn C major trio gives it a new meaning. And this trio is much more bright and open in character than the E-flat minor. And I think that this is a program of a lot of intimacy and very personal dialogues created by the music. And overall, it's just such a beautifully crafted program. So I'm so looking forward to being part of this. with Marlboro, there's such a rich history of legendary musicians who have passed through the festival. I remember rehearsing in the room where the Guarneri Quartet first formed, and I find this lineage and this tradition very inspiring. But for me, there's another layer of inspiration, which is that my family has all attended Marlboro. I first went for my first summer with my sister Clara, and both of my parents also went to Marlboro some years ago. I think that growing up and hearing stories about their musical experiences that were very life-changing, and also hearing some funny stories about various experiences there, Marlboro always occupied a special place in my mind. And it feels very meaningful now to go to the festival, to have our parents visit us, and to have this shared experience with them. Getting to know the Haydn E-flat minor piano trio was really a revelation. I was immediately struck by the depth of this work, and also the range of characters from the dark and introspective first movement to the second movement titled Jacob's Dream, which is very light and exuberantly playful and charming. The process of working on this piece at Marlboro with Judith and Solomon was a very joyful and exploratory one. We looked at it from many angles, and I think we learned a lot from each other and the unique perspectives that we all brought to the process. We also played for the great Arnold Steinhardt, which was very inspiring to hear his feedback. And not only did we study this piece, but we also had the chance to read some other Haydn piano trios, which I think was a wonderful way to put the piece in perspective and context.